Coalition Provisional Authority Order Number 2, Dissolution of Entities, signed by Coalition Provisional Authority on the 23rd of May 2003, disbanded the Iraqi military, security, and intelligence infrastructure of President Saddam Hussein. It has since become an object of controversy, cited by some critics as the biggest American mistake made in the immediate aftermath of the fall of Saddam Hussein and as one of the main causes of the Iraqi insurgency. Background: before the war began, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General J. Garner and the U.S. military had already laid out several plans for what to do with Iraqi security forces, recognizing the danger posed by complete demobilization in an environment of high unemployment, poor security, and social unrest. The plan called for the dissolution of the Iraqi Republican Guard, the engagement of soldiers in the Iraqi army in reconstruction efforts, and the foundation of a new army from 3 to 5 existing Iraqi divisions. This plan was presented to President George W. Bush by Undersecretary of Defense for Policy Douglas Feith during a National Security Council meeting on the 12th of May. Beginning on the 20th of March 2003, the United States and coalition partners launched the invasion of Iraq. On the 21st of April, the Coalition Provisional Authority was established with J. Garner at its head, and on the 11th of May he was replaced by Ambassador Paul Bremer. Bremer's first order as CPA administrator, issued the 16th of May, disestablished the Iraqi Ba'ath Party and began a process of de-Ba'athification. Formulation of the order. Upon arrival in Baghdad, Bremer and his senior advisor, Walter B. Slocum, came to favor the dissolution of the Iraqi army. This view was based on the belief that the Iraqi army had already demobilized itself and could not be practically reconstituted, e.g., the Iraqi conscripts would not return, and in any case Iraqi military facilities had been destroyed. In the words of Slocum, there was no intact Iraqi force to disband. As to who originally proposed the idea, it has been sometimes attributed to Slocum. Feith stated that it was Bremer's idea, but Bremer has denied that and said he could not remember who had initially come up with the idea. According to Bremer in his book My Year in Iraq, the CPA and the Pentagon jointly coordinated the drafting of the order to disband the Iraqi Defense and Security Services. Bremer, highlighting that such an order would be critical in eliminating the foundations of the previous Iraqi regime and demonstrating to the Iraqi people that neither Saddam nor his gang is coming back, sent a proposal for the disbandment to then Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld on the 19th of May, along with a recommendation that all former troops save some top intelligence, security, and Ba'athist leaders be given severance payments. Under Secretary of Defense Feith requested some editing of the text on the 22nd of May, and at night Rumsfeld Chief of Staff Florence Di Rita and CPA spokesperson Dan Senor coordinated plans for the actual announcement. After receiving permission from Secretary Rumsfeld, Bremer briefed President Bush by video conference and subsequently signed the order on the 23rd of May. However, Bush said in a later interview that the initial plan was to maintain the Iraqi army, and he was not sure why that did not occur. In response to this report, Bremer provided the New York Times with a letter sent by him on the 22nd of May through the Secretary of Defense to the President that described the measure, to which the President sent a thank you letter. Furthermore, Bremer stated that even before he arrived in Iraq, he sent a draft of the order on the 9th of May to Rumsfeld, Wolfowitz, Feith, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and then CFLCC Commander, Lieutenant General David McKiernan. The Times quoted an anonymous White House official that the original plan to maintain the army could not be carried out and that Bush understood that General Peter Pace later stated that the Joint Chiefs of Staff were not consulted for advice or a recommendation with regard to the order. Secretary of State Colin Powell has also said he was never consulted on the matter, which he believes was a major mistake. And then National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice was said to have been surprised by the decision. A different set of events was portrayed by Bob Woodward in his book State of Denial. According to him, the decision never came back to Washington for input except for a lawyer from the National Security Council, who gave legal opinions on the first two CPA orders. Rumsfeld said he spoke only rarely with Bremer. No NSC meeting had been convened on the matter, and that he would be surprised if either Deputy Secretary of Defense Paul Wolfowitz or Under-Secretary Fyth had told Bremer to carry out the two CPA orders. UK input. Several British generals later said that they raised concern about the disbandment and were personally against it, though Bremer responded that no UK officials voiced concerns in the meetings and that they regarded the effective demobilization of the Iraqi military as a fait accompli. These claims were disputed by senior British officers. A 2004 report in The Guardian cited senior UK military and intelligence sources saying that British Admiral Michael Boyce told his commanders to negotiate with senior Iraqi Army and Republican Guard officers to switch sides and operate under UK guidance to uphold law and order, but that CPA Orders 1 and 2 effectively destroyed any chance to regroup the Iraqi forces for such a plan. Aftermath. On the 13th of September, Bremer amended the order through CPA Order Number 34, which stated that the Board of Supreme Audit was no longer to be considered a dissolved entity and should continue operations. Dissolved entities, institutions: Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Information, Ministry of State for Military Affairs, Iraqi Intelligence Service, National Security Bureau, Directorate of General Security, Special Security Organization, entities affiliated with Hussein bodyguards, Murafaqeen, Humayya al-Qaso, military organizations: Iraqi Army, Air Force, Navy, the Air Defense Force, and other regular military services, Iraqi Republican Guard, Iraqi Special Republican Guard, Directorate of Military Intelligence, Al-Quds Force, Emergency Forces, Paramilitaries: Fedayeen Saddam, Ba'ath Party Militia, Friends of Saddam, Saddam's Lion Cubs, Other Presidential Divan, Presidential Secretariat, Revolutionary Command Council, the National Assembly, the Youth Organization, National Olympic Committee, Revolutionary Special in National Security Courts,